Good evening, living, dead, undecided, and welcome to another stream in the wonderful world of Philly by Night. Philly by Night is a vampire 5th edition game set in the world of darkness and ensconced in the city of brotherly love. The city is at least one other character and usually more like five. Luckily, we're set in the summertime, so football is not part of the backdrop yet. So, in this early to mid June evening, there are some folks that you guys have been asked to check in on, just a friendly visit. But also, Naomi told you to do it. Naomi is a scary broad. So, Sharky, how are we waking up this evening?
Hungry. Um, Sharky woke up very hungry. Um, he woke up this morning in his I guess barracks is the best word for it. His room at the prison. Uh, he woke up this morning or this evening, and he woke up and he said, I could really go for some nice mortal this morning." Um, he he rung up he 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 rang up somebody who owed him a lot of money, threatened them into into giving up some blood, almost frenzied on them, but did not, and was a little sad he didn't,
As one does.
as one does. And yeah, that's how his night went.
Hmm. Well, I mean, at least there wasn't a mess to clean up.
Mm, yeah, what wouldn't have been worth it right now, just not. No, it doesn't have the influence to wipe it away as easy as he'd like. So
And owing a favor to a Camarilla city? So gauche.
I'm already racking up favors as is. Not a not something I want to encourage.
So gauche.
So gauche.
Ew.
It's so gauche that's how you wind up as a ghost.
Probably.
Ah, I don't deal with that. That's a Hikata thing.
Yeah. Uh, Mr. Vanguard?
He woke up fine, and he is dressed in his evening finery. He's wearing a very gorgeous rose gold and like a peach colored corset with a pair of white pants and a white button up. For attending his bar, not knowing where he's going, he has packed a change of clothes because he's not getting his white pants and his white pantsuit dirty and ruining the corset. Those things are expensive.
I mean, Master Vanguard was told that they'd be visiting Gangrel, right?
Correct, but he also holds Haven in a nightclub, so he has to keep up appearances,
Ah, touche, touche.
leaving his Haven. So, because I would imagine he has a room off to the side or like in a private room somewhere that's completely closed off, but
Well, of
he
course.
has to go like through the dance floor and like all that to leave. So, he's going to look the part while he's there to keep appearances up.
Alas, it is so difficult being one of the beautiful people.
Isn't it though?
How about you, Doc?
Well, I woke up a little hungry, just a smidge. I tried wrangling up a patient so that I could feed, but nothing that involved me having to use anesthesia on my patients. So I'm just gonna suffer a little bit through the rest of the night.
Well, Doc has been a bit overworked, what with all of those ghouls, and the two new employees are coming in very handy,
Yes.
especially the midwife, who's got a bit of a, shall we say, herbalism talent.
Yes. He very much appreciates their help.
So, you have all been asked by Naomi, who is quite frankly terrifying, to check in on two of her friends, Elder Gangrel. Things are a little bit off kilter lately with their behavior insofar as Naomi has seen them recently. And besides, they would be very, very handy individuals to be able to have some kind of relationship with, given that they are technically not citizens of the city. I mean, they're also technically not citizens of the system either. But a couple of elder gangrel on the outskirts is could be handy. And you guys have a car for the evening. I know.
Which
Can
one of
any
you
of us? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, nose goes.
I would say it is possible that one of your duskborn employees could drive the car.
Shocky, didn't you get a chauffeur or whatever from one of those?
He's a security guard. Yes,
Them-
I got a security guard, but who will be driving you to?
We have a car. I'm assuming we would all ride together.
That's a mighty
Fucking
fine
waste fuel.
assumption.
I mean, I got these two Chevrolets. I mean, yeah, it might take me a while.
I mean, honestly, at that point, I'd just call a cab and get to the outskirts of the city. It'd be cheaper and much safer for everyone else on the road.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Of course, I'll have the security guard drive us. I hope he can drive. He doesn't look like the brightest, but I hope he can drive.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to be the brightest to be dexterous.
If you need to be dexterous while you're driving, you're doing it wrong.
Well, you would be surprised how often security coincides with, we'll say, offensive driving.
And that's why they have those handles, the oh crap handles,
Yes, indeed.
that Sharky will be holding on to most likely the entire time.
And if you would prefer to leave your retainer standing by for security at the casino, there is another option. Davis may have mentioned access to a fairly reliable chauffeur. And you remember a chauffeur from your first meeting with His Grace, as well as Spartan.
I don't.
But then
I would. I, going to be honest, I'd rather take my chances with the Duskborn.
Do we want to owe the prince some more debt?
No, I don't think so, quite honestly.
Do I owe the prince debt?
I don't think so.
Not yet, but you will.
After carefully consulting the books, I don't see any boons on the books other than one person. And their identity shall remain secret for reasons.
His face says it all.
And it would be less owing His Grace and more owing Davis.
Which I already owe him my life. So
Personally, like I said, I'd rather take my luck with a Duskborn who is a offensive driver than someone from that side of the fence. Since we're going to meet some unbound elder gangrel.
I just don't know how to operate that fine piece of machinery or that there.
I mean, honestly, it can't be that hard. I might end up driving on the left side of the road instead of the right side of the road, but I digress.
Y'all are gonna make me have to learn to drive. I haven't driven since I was 16 years old, and I do not mean 16 years of kindred.
I'm surprised you ever learned how to drive at all, Sharky, but that's besides the point.
You got behind one of them their devices before? Like,
they looked very different at the time, but yes.
Oh.
I was very wealthy. It was a sign of status.
Your security guard just kind of jiggles the car keys.
I ain't driving. You're driving. Oh, you're saying we need to go. Okay.
He's saying we can go. Jingle, jingle. Car keys.
Dr. Beck's just going to climb in the back seat of the vehicle and sit there and look out the window.
The real big bad, who's driving the car out of all of the people who can't drive.
Sharky's going to sit in the because it's his school drive or not cool. It's his thin blood driving. He's going to sit in the passenger seat, the front passenger, hold the oh crap handle, and backseat drive. Not knowing how.
He drives just fine. He slows at the appropriate time. I mean, guy's got a little bit of a lead foot, but this is Philadelphia. Who doesn't have a little bit of a lead foot? Never goes more than about 20 over the speed limit, and otherwise follows the traffic laws.
Ashton just kind of narrows his eyes, leans over to Dr. Beck and stage whispers, I think he was lying about being a bad driver. You're actually pretty good at this, old chap.
It seems so. I think Mr. Sharky here is just a little reductive, if you get what I'm saying.
And you notice you are driving out of the city. Yes, 20 over the speed limit should give you anxiety, particularly because the speed limit on a lot of the freeways and highways going into and out of the city is 70.
Also, Chandler can barely do 5 without having a panic attack IRL, y'all.
In my defense, it's 85 here.
So,
and I regularly go way over that. So,
just for those of us playing and those of us in the audience who might not want to do math, you are going at about 90 miles an hour at most.
somewhere between 70 and 90 with the flow of traffic.
But that also means all the cars around you on this 4-lane highway, 4-lane divided highway. So you are one of 4 lanes traveling through at 70 to 90 miles an hour.
Okay. Okay.
At least he's keeping with the flow of traffic. That's all my
Mhm.
ass could ask IRL out of this. Just keep with the flow of traffic.
Yeah, he's doing just fine. Almost like, being security might also include the occasional chauffeur duty.
He's getting a raise.
Oh, good. He'll be thrilled.
a whole 5 cents more.
So, yeah, I'm driving. The city starts fading into the distance a bit as he is driving up what appears to be mountains. The roads start getting twistier. The sounds of nature.
Eventually, you will hit the Lehigh Tunnel, which is a small but not insignificant 2-lane tunnel through the through the Appalachian Mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains, into the Lehigh Valley.
And eventually, y'all would see what looks like it used to be a big yellow school bus. I mean, it's fairly well rusted. It looks like it ain't been anywhere but here for a good long while. Kind of in the distance around the broken down old bus are what appear to be like summer camp cabins. Well, it's certainly kind of a campsite, and that's where Naomi said y'all were heading.
I don't trust it. This feels like a trap.
I mean, your friend Naomi sent us out here.
Naomi is not my friend. She's an elder that I'm pretty sure wants to take an axe to my throat at any moment in time.
All I know is she scared the bejesus out of me last time I saw her. I got out of there. After I knocked you out, of course.
The last signs you see after you get off the turnpike and start making your way through these windy back roads, the last town sign you remember seeing reads Smoketown, population 27.
Oh, great. It's really just went from being a nice little but being a nice adventure to turning into quite the horror setup for a horror movie.
So now you find yourself in front of what looks to have been at one time a big yellow school bus with sheets of metal hastily welded to it, covering as many of the windows as possible. The front of the bus looks like it has large corrugated steel shutters that close, but all of this looks home built by somebody who may not have the best technique, but certainly knows what they're doing enough that it is a reasonably safe haven.
And you all are currently staying in the SUV?
So it stopped.
Hmm.
Ashton is gonna get out.
Can I have a wits and awareness, please?
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Hee
Oh well, well, I might not be doing it anyway. We'll see how this goes.
hee. You see nothing?
Yeah, I see nothing, and I rolled 2 2s. I forgot the hunger, but yeah, no,
Wow, that's your wits and awareness?
it's my wits. I have no dots
I
in
am
awareness.
once again asking you to buy dots in awareness.
Never. Never. It's more spicy that way.
If you insist.
It's so spicy. Why is it spicy?
Because I didn't spend the XP on it yet.
I am no longer asking you.
Oh, I'm fully expected to get fully bodied by one of these characters. It's fine.
Oh, goodness.
After Mr. Vanguard gets out of the vehicle, if Dr. Beck doesn't see anything happen immediately, he'll go ahead and also exit the vehicle slowly.
Dr. Beck, wits and awareness. And also, Sharky, give me a wits and awareness. You're probably looking all around this horror movie set.
But he's not getting out of the SUV. He knows what his family can do.
You can wits and awareness from inside the car, Home Slice.
Oh,
I'll go ahead and.
I mean, up to you.
What hunger am I at?
2.
Okay.
That's a 2.
Okay. Okay. So for the two successes, you're looking around and that's a fucking bear. That is a bear. That is a bear. It's a bear. It's a bear standing there like a fucking guard dog.
Dr. Beck's just going to stay by the SUV, acknowledge the bear, and look at Sharky. Like, you get now?
Sharky, not only is there a fucking bear, you hear a rather loud thump on the top of your SUV. Not loud enough to be a person, mind, but loud enough to be pretty damn big.
Sure. Just slowly shrinks, like lowers his seat and just goes back so that way he can't see outside the windows and he can't be seen.
After noticing Dr. Beck's reaction and hearing the loud ass sound, you do actually finally notice something, Monsieur Vanguard. The rather loud clunk on the roof of the vehicle is an Egyptian vulture.
Interesting. He nods.
Dr. Beck may not recognize the Egyptian vulture, but would recognize, holy shit, that's a big ass bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably. It'd probably just be, it's a big bird.
And the bear, while appearing for all the world to be a North American black bear, looks larger than he should.
I mean, Ash is just kind of standing there waiting on Sharky. This is his family. He's just got out of the car because he was like, "This is rude." Just because I'm assuming there's like in Ashton's mind, there's a 50-50 chance they know we're coming. So he's just like, "I'm gonna get out and wait on Sharky. Sharky can talk to the animals."
Dr. Beck's going to be the gentleman and reach over and open Sharky's door for him. Sir,
Well, thank you. Somebody finally had some manners.
Of course, sir. I do apologize.
Sharky steps out of it looking very panicked. Uh, looking around the area to try and see who sent the animals.
Would you like to roll another wits and awareness? Since we're looking.
Sure.
I will also
Sure.
give you resolve and awareness, since you would be focused and looking. So just roll whichever is higher.
Which is better? One success.
Oh goodness. Well, there is a big ass bird on top of your car. Good God, I hope those talons don't actually leave mark. And there's a bear. They're not doing anything. They don't appear to be threatening anyone. They're just being there.
Do either of you know how to talk to bears?
If anyone was able to, Mr. Sharky, I do believe it would be you. But anyways, this is part of your ritual stuff. Do you mind introducing me and Mr. Vanguard?
I can't introduce you to a bear. Why do you think I can talk to bears? Why do you
I can
think
talk to bears, but I don't think that's the kind of bear I would be able to talk to.
And so can I, but not these kinds. Why do you think I can talk to animals?
Doesn't most of your family talk to animals on like a secondary skill?
That is a hurtful stereotype.
That is a reductionist stereotype.
That puts people like me in tiny boxes. However, you did pick the correct box.
Good for
You
you.
didn't even pick the correct box this time.
I'm sorry,
Well-
I just assumed as useful as a skill as it is to be able to talk to animals, you'd be able to do it, Sharky.
They don't like me. I'm surprised these ones haven't clawed my eyes out yet. That's not an invitation. Pointing at the bird.
The vulture just kind of goes.
Mr. Sharky, might you go and knock on the door?
There's a bear there. I'm not going next to the black bear.
Okay, at this point, Ashton has had enough of this tomfoolery from Sharky. He is going to be as non-threatening as possible to go knock on the door.
As you
To
pass the bear,
Check the
he
beer.
does nothing. He sniffs you a little bit as you walk past, but other than that, no, doesn't really do anything. But as you knock on the door, you hear what sounds to be a thunderous, booming grumble from deep inside the bus. Before long, you hear heavy footfalls that seem to shake the welded on steel plating on the side of the van. Not a lot, but a little bit. Enough that there is movement in the bus. And as the bus door opens, the gentleman, one of the individuals anyway, that you are here to meet, wriggles himself sideways out the bus door, and standing before you, barrel chested, flannel clad, is this mountain of a man. He looks at you. He looks at Sharky. He looks at Dr. Beck. His eyes narrow a bit before he looks over at the car and then back to you. Can I help you?
Yes, we were sent by, I believe, one of your cousins to come check on you, I believe. Out of character, real quick.
Miss
In the
Naomi.
okay, out of character, real quick, because John is confused on the write up today. Were we given the names of the people?
I would say yes. You were
Okay.
given the names Jed and Maury.
Okay. We were sent by one of your cousins to check in on Jed and Maury.
The large man nods, rubs the beard on his chin before he pokes his head back into the bus. Maury, we got guests.
There's no sound from inside the bus, but there is a flurry of excitement coming out from the trees as a feathered, massive shape lands on top of the bus with a clunk, 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 clunk. It looks like a pert near human sized version of the vulture that's over on the SUV. And from the dents in the top of the bus, this is probably a frequent occurrence.
See, Sharky, don't you want to do that?
No!
I can help you.
No! Wait, what? Wait! What?
The old man regards you with kind of a squinting suspicion before he lifts something up to his face and drinks out of what looks to be a large pink flamingo cup. Draining it dry, he tosses it over his shoulder into the bus before his head jerks to the side. Can somebody give me a wits and survival if you have it? Doesn't matter who. Everybody, anybody, nobody.
Gotcha.
I have a dot in that skill! Why did I give him a dot in that skill?
Because you're a gangrel?
You're a gangrel and you should have it.
Nah.
Well, the dice bot said, "Fuck me tonight." I guess that's a total failure.
Although you are good at talking to bears.
Apparently.
For the twos, you're fairly certain that man is looking towards the east.
Dr. Beck will look over towards the east as well, see if he sees anything.
Just more forest and the dark that lies beyond the little campsite.
A slim figure of a woman kind of slides down off the top of the bus. She is, well, she's taller than Jed, but she looks like a stiff wind would blow her over. Fool
Hello,
man.
ma'am. How do you do?
How does this one do what?
It's how are you feeling this evening, or how are you doing is a phrase that people used to say. How are you feeling?
Oh, this one is capable. Is one of you one of this party Knox?
Ashton just immediately points to Sharky.
Dr. Beck will also point to Sharky.
I believe that one is the one you're looking for.
The crow. This is the young one. the crow mentioned.
A city pup. Ain't had many of you in a while.
I I am slightly more suited to city living, I will admit, but I ain't always been a city slicker. I just am now, and I should be treated as such.
This
Poor
one,
choice of words, pup, but I get your meaning.
this one still smells the grave dirt on him.
I am not that young. I've been around for a good period of time, thank you.
How many winners?
The math. This Sharky was embraced. I can't remember.
The true BBEG round 2 electric boogaloo. Math.
He was he was embraced in the 1960s. He was embraced in the 1960s, so
60-ish.
60. Yeah, 60.
You still ain't learned how to talk to animals yet.
I prefer to talk to people.
Oh, you can learn a lot from animals. Take old Cletus here.
This one is the cousin, but that one smells of serpent.
Guilty as charged.
Don't start no trouble, won't get no guff. You hear?
Well, I would assume so, so no trouble here. We're actually here to help with whatever y'all have been dealing with.
This gets kind of a sound from the large man as he waves a absolutely massive palm at the three of you, waddling over to a log. He sits down and pokes around in what looks like it would have been a fire pit at one point in time, years and years and years ago. But now he's just stirring around ashes with a stick, almost as if operating from some sort of memory.
Can I make a wits and awareness or medicine to see if I can identify anything that could potentially be wrong? Sending signals out in his medicine brain.
Go for it.
Which would you like?
Let's do a intelligence or medicine or wits and medicine, whichever's higher.
Intelligence.
Sounds like we had a little bit of feedback going on there for a second. Sorry about that, folks. But yes, either an intelligence and medicine or a wits and medicine, whichever's higher.
Silly Jed. Just doing Jed things over there.
Yep, just doing Jed stuff. Well,
I'd like to burn a willpower.
Ooh! Ooh!
Actually, I can't. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm just taking that.
I
I
mean,
mean, no, you can.
Oh
You
yeah,
could.
I can.
you could re-roll that 10.
Yeah, I see it now.
Oh no! Oh no. Sharky has had a brain blast?
Chandler had a brain blast, but Sharky is gonna have a brain blast too.
Oh dear.
All right. Well, let's see what we get.
Oh, thank
Okay.
God.
Okay.
Right?
Thank
You kept-
God.
You kept a reasonable amount of successes. So, Sharky, you said you wanted to make a roll.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Um, Dr. Beck, this he doesn't seem to be moving in any kind of jerky fashion, so it's not any kind of like necessarily compulsion or something like that, but he does remind you ever so slightly of patients that begin sundowning. The ones that grow fuzzy at the edges as the night draws in.
Beck's going to, in a calm voice, would you mind if I helped out your friend here? At least I can take a look at him, see if might be there something I can do.
The fool man will not admit anything is amiss.
I'm a doctor, and I can tell something is amiss very much.
Strong of body and thick of skull.
That's usually how the farm types are.
A doctor may try. This one would suggest caution.
Dr. Obeck will slowly approach, trying to seem as unthreatening as possible, being a stranger walking up to a stranger. And sit down across from the older gentleman. Howdy, sir. How you feeling right now?
You can call me Jed. Ain't no sense in all that sir BS.
I do apologize, Mr. Jed. Manners, you know. Mama raised me right.
And he a couple of times shoves the stick a little angry, or a little bit more angrily into the long cold ashes in this rusted out fire pit. If you're here at Naomi's behest, I'm here to tell you I feel fine. Ain't nothing wrong with me.
Well, you might feel fine, sir, but there's something off. You're coming near the end of your cycle, it seems, and I'm just wanting to see if there's anything that I can do to help extend that, perchance.
His eyes flick over to the bus, settle back on you. Them potions Davis been sending ain't been doing the trick no more. I still hear the howling in my skull.
Potions? Perchance, do you happen to have any on you? Or have you run out?
Drank the last one he sent. Supposed to be good for about 6 months. Keep the howling at bay. But they ain't been working like they used to.
When Ashton hears that, can he make an occult check to see if he can figure out what exactly Jed's talking about?
Yes, he can.
Okay, this is actually a pretty good pull. Wits or intelligence? What's my attribute?
I will take whichever is higher.
They're the same. I don't know
Good,
why I
let's
asked.
do intel.
Yep. Okay. Do I actually get? Because I can't remember. Would I get my nautism specialty in this?
You would.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. That's even better.
He won't admit something's amiss, but will he admit something's a swing and a miss?
Oh my God, get out!
You've been waiting to say that, haven't you?
Yes.
So patiently. I appreciate the patience.
I will send you to Kane.
That was my brain blast.
I should have known. I didn't. But I usually suspect the unexpected, so it doesn't count.
Doing
This sounds an awful lot like what might be called the beckoning. Maybe it just registers different for different clans. Mr. Vanguard might have heard it described as something of a religious experience among elder Setites.
Mm-hmm.
A voice from the heavens extolling them to travel. It would make a good deal of sense that for the gangrel.
My computer shat a brick on me for a minute there. Good day. I missed the big chunk. Oh, come on. Stop causing people to freeze. Anyway, there we go. Sorry. I missed the first third of what you said because I didn't even realize the command went through.
It sounds maybe like it could be related to the beckoning. It would make sense that maybe it shows up different for different clans. I mean, you would have heard it spoken of amongst older Setites as something almost akin to a religious revelation. Maybe for Gangrel, it's howling. You would kind
He's
of
gonna keep-
understand the same, Dr. Beck.
He is going to kind of keep that thought to himself and watch Beck and Jed talk a little bit more.
So, Mr. Judd, from what you're describing and what I'm seeing, this seems like the old ones are calling you. What they refer to as the beckoning. And it's gotten stronger.
There's another almost scoff from the bear of a man across from you. Ain't nothing but moonlight and fairy stories. Just come down with something. Having an episode is all.
We don't tend to come down with things. Jed, sir.
So your 60 winners tells you that.
I've done a lot of fighting.
And I've done a lot of living.
Well, Mr. Jed, with your permission, do you mind if I give something a try?
Jed grumbles a bit. Looks over at Sharky. Sorry about that, son. I get a little snappy sometimes.
It's all right. I understand.
Focuses his eyes back on the barely held together fire pit in front of him, flakes of rusted steel falling off as he jams the stick ever harder into the ashes. What you planning on trying?
Okay, so as a player, would it be possible to use fleshcraft to identify if anything is misfiring or needs to be realigned in the brain properly?
That is a high level question that you're
Yes.
asking there. Given that kindred don't operate like people do,
Mhm.
it would be incredibly difficult to try to find biological markers that would lead you to believe there is something off about this man. You could try. I'm just not telling you if you would really ever even get anywhere with it.
Yeah, no, I assumed that it would be really, really difficult, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
Okay.
Sir, I'm just gonna touch you and have a look inside. Just see if there's something that might need to be moved just a touch. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna look.
He just kind of narrows his eyes at you before he just kind of holds his hand out, palm up in front of you.
Okay.
And while this is occurring, Maury's just gonna kind of gesture to the other two, like,
Mhm.
mirror.
Oh, Ashton walks over.
Sharky stands like beside Ashton, but a little behind him, just a little.
Hey, has Maury's reputation preceded her?
No, just two elder gangrel out in the woods. She's very old and she talks in an accent. That's not a good sign.
This one is old. But the fool man is older still. I do not tell him. This one does not tell him. This one can hear it.
Oh, come on, don't freeze. Okay, I got it. It's back.
Good?
It's
I think John froze again.
yeah. Hold
Oh,
on. This thing's doing
goodness,
us stupid.
technology.
Yeah, I'm a Lasombra in real life, y'all.
Yeah, that
I got the Bane and everything.
that makes so much sense.
I might need to actually close some of the web browsers. That may be what it is.
Yeah, that could be it. You can hear it as well.
From the east, summoning. A sound like howling, screeching.
Would you mind if I asked you a few questions about it?
This one does not know what answer she can give, but a man may ask what he pleases.
Are there periods in time where they lessen?
Most of the middle of the night, they are easily ignored when one is busy with tasks, other things. First thing in the evening, last thing before morning, one cannot ignore.
Hmm. First thing in the morning, last thing before evening. Tell me, when you are having these episodes, do you feel any differently outside of the screams?
A man, a young blue blood, cousin, some combination. I- How close is a man to whatever beast he becomes when there is no control?
Hmm. So your bonds on the cage weaken.
This one is avian, uh, that one ursine. Both have seasonal patterns, whether 'tis to migrate or to sleep. It is natural, irresistible.
Yes. Right.
It, one is pulled.
So you believe it's a cyclical.
Such as us, such as the monsters, do not change.
Hmm.
Those who those who rule the night, those who are permanent, do not so much die, but this, the draw, the pull, there is a reason this one is a vulture. There is an understanding, a knowledge of the end. This pull feels like the end.
With what was just said, because what Ash would know about the beckoning, he started to think that this isn't the beckoning if it's 2 times of the day where it's really intense, and then or 2 times of the night where it's really intense. So he's gonna look at Maury. You wouldn't happen to have a flashlight with you, would you?
A light.
Oh, come on, internet.
But also, it is 2 times when it can't be ignored. It's fairly constant, but those are 2 times she can't ignore it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna look over at Maury. Never mind. Seems like we've got a perplexing puzzle on our hands.
Hmm. To me, it sounds like two elders who have unfortunately have the potency to be called. No offense. I don't know if that can be offensive, but no offense.
This one is not offended. It is an honor to age well.
Go Barry, so I could hear what.
The quote was, "I'm not offended. It is an honor to age well."
I have.
I'm
The
sorry,
whole
man. You are just
internet is
having
going
technical difficulties.
Let me
in and out.
let me go over there and
all right,
fix this computer.
yeah, I am having.
Now would be a good time to take a
Honey,
5-minute
it's
break.
the internet.
We're going to do a 5-minute break while we work on technical difficulties.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. And welcome back. It looks like we might have our tech issues sort of sorted. So, the last thing that weird, creepy vulture woman said when she was speaking to Ashton and Sharky was, "This one is not offended. It is an honor to age well."
Indeed, it is something that I have heard many from my family say it's quite the religious experience when they've become that old in these modern nights.
The scent of the serpent makes sense. The young men will promise not to tell the stubborn old man.
I have a feeling if we don't agree, we're going to be thrown from a high elevation.
Is a man a close cousin?
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway,
A
Can I insight check Sharky on that one? Because
you
now
can
Ash is just over there like, huh? He's acting weird.
you can
Okay, hold on.
absolutely vibe check that man.
I would say this is more a detect lies. Wits insight.
And insight.
I heard insight and the first word cut out.
I didn't say the first word. Wits and insight. No. I don't even know what that means.
It keeps
No.
it keeps cutting. God damn it! Our internet's being a pain in the ass. The first part of what you said kept cutting out both times you said it. Good day.
Wits and insight.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Sharky, are you trying to mask it all?
no.
Okay.
It's very
Just wanted to double
obvious
check.
that Sharky went. She said close cousin. Sharky said, "I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die."
Okay, I'm spending a willpower. This is ridiculous.
You're the
2 and
dice
a bestial fail if that doesn't work.
the dice bot is just not your friend tonight.
No.
Dicebot wants to tell a story.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not trying to mask at all. So, like, although, hey Sharky, what's your base subterfuge?
One.
Okay, so man's not trying to mask at all. So, like, clearly, he knows what a close cousin is, and clearly, he is one of them.
Ash is smirking and hoping, without directly saying it, Mori?
Maury.
Mori. Okay, Mori picks up on it. Because he wants to see what's going to happen, but he's not going to directly out Sharky, so he's being subtle about it.
Ah, shame. But there are so few lucky enough to be descendants of the strongest among us.
Yes, indeed, I agree.
Was that a lie?
No, that wasn't a lie.
Oh, good. Please. This one asks the medicine given by the infestation, the roche. It is losing effectiveness. If he knows that this one can hear it as well, a stubborn man will insist on sharing. There is not enough.
And pray tell, I may ask, who is exactly making these potions?
This one does not know. They are brought by the crow, sometimes by the roche. This one does not ask.
Well, I think it's time someone should ask, because maybe they need to step it up a little bit.
At this point, Dr. Beck will remove his hand from Mr. Jed's arm, shake his head, looking frustrated. I'm sorry, Mr. Jed, I didn't see nothing out of sorts. I'm gonna go make a call. See if I
Jed-
can't work something out.
Jed will just nod and kind of gesture over towards where Maury is standing, like, see, I told you I'm fine.
A man is looking much better. Or perhaps this dose has taken effect.
Just needed a minute, that's all. He shakes his head, throws down the stick, gets up off of the log, stretches, and just wanders over to the three of you as Dr. Beck goes off to take their call. But since Dr. Beck is making a call, who is Dr. Beck calling?
Davis, I want to know what that potion is, where to get it, and if I can't do some of my medicinal magic.
Shall I take it you all found the place okay?
Yes, indeed, Mr. Davis. The medicine that you've been delivering to Mr. Jed for his prescription and his ailments.
Yes, yes. Draft dodger.
Yes. Perchance, could you get me a sample of that? I'd like to send it to my pharmaceutical tech and have them see what they can do to perhaps make a stronger dose. He's not taken too kindly to his current prescription.
Ah. And this would be one of your newer employees?
Yes, sir.
Ah. Would it be a problem for you if I mentioned this pharmaceutical tech to the city council proper? They can provide much better resources for equipment and facilities than I can at current.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Let them know that they're under my employ and being well taken care of.
Indeed. I will schedule that chat. In the meantime, I suppose we could come up with another few doses to send and have your pharmaceutical tech look them over.
I do appreciate that. Whom, if it's all right in asking, is the pharmacist that makes this medication?
We have a rather young individual currently residing and working out of our Willow Grove offices.
All right.
They did the best they could, but a more seasoned tech may be able to refine the mixture somewhat.
Yeah, my employee should be able to do that, and if nothing else, I'll head on down there as well. See if I can assist. I have some skills in the pharmaceuticals.
Good. How
Uh,
is the stubborn old bear?
Grumbly, but if approached with the right manner, is willing to accept assistance.
That does tend to do wonders for the old Appalachian's attitude.
I mean, isn't my first time dealing with the farm folk. They tend to not like medicinal intervention.
And that man is damn near as old as the mountains that surround you.
Oh, I can believe that. Well, you have a good night. Please get back to me as soon as possible, and I'll see
Absolutely.
what I can do on my end. And he'll hang up.
So is Jed regaling these two gentlemen with tales of the latest wild whiskersy hunt? You're muted, darling.
Oh yes, yes. He is currently regaling Sharky and Ashton about how he most recently gathered up a group of young pups, proceeded to indulge them in some bloodshine before turning them loose in the woods and scaring the pants off of them, as is tradition. Gentlemen, what you are hearing is pure hazing. That's all this is. It's no different than a snipe hunt or, seeking out some cryptid in the woods.
Hunting the
This is,
chupacabra.
yeah, seems to be, this man thinks of it as a rite of passage for Gangrel.
And he is correct.
Sharky, did you go through anything like that? It's quite interesting. Tradition.
No, my sire abandoned me. So no.
This is also tradition. A bite and bolt is a standard gangrel practice.
Yeah. That is it was a little different, but we ain't gonna get into that.
Bite and bolt, embrace and make haste.
Yeah. Embrace and make haste. Pretty standard. And then I got picked up by a blue blood. Now here I am.
That explains the smell.
It's called cologne.
You are my third this season, and I hate it. It's called cologne. You're getting an award. You're getting an award, and you will like it.
So Papa Jed will just look you up and down As if this word that you just used, foreign concept to him.
Cologne is a type of spray that you put on to make you smell better than the woods. Or sometimes smell like the woods. It depends on the type of cologne you want to use. Basically, it's just like it's like a how can I? It's like soap, but
Is
it doesn't
cologne
clean you.
is cologne not in France?
Cologne
I
comes from the
believe
Cologne region of France.
Cologne is actually in Germany. Um, but yes.
I know what soap is. I wash frequently. But if you want to smell like the woods, why don't you just go in the woods? And
Because you
this
don't
man does smell kind of delightfully like pine.
because you don't want to actually smell like the woods. You want to smell like the idealized concept of the woods that city slickers have in their heads as what the woods smells like.
It just
If you go
sounds
out
too
into
much
the
like work.
woods, you smell like bear crap. You go you
I will
it,
have you know that Cletus does his business far and away from camp for that exact reason.
but what about Mrs. Cletus?
Me Misos Cletus?
You think the bear has a wife?
Bear's mate.
Mine don't.
Not that one.
Oh, this is embarrassing.
Okay, what about, the any foxes out there? Or,
Most most other animals know to steer clear of a predator.
And this camp has 4.
okay. So maybe around here it's not that much of a problem because we're terrifying to most animals. However, around many areas in the woods, if you're a normal human, you go out into the woods, you smell less like pine sol and more like sweat, dirt, animal poop, and sadness.
Does a
I want
man
to
sweat?
point out I want to point out an inconsistency there, Sharky. Unless you're actively or constantly going out in the woods and stepping in a pile of shit, you're not going to smell like it. Sweat, maybe a bit of a musk odor, yes. However, you must have the worst luck and are blind as a bat and don't know how to watch where you put your feet.
Next time we see a pile of shit out here in the woods, I'm going to trip you and you're going to fall into it. Sound good to you,
Well,
Mr. Vanguard?
good thing I'm not one of those roses. I'll just go bring a change of clothes next time we go out into the woods and make sure I stay 10 feet away from you at all times. You spiteful bastard. And he grins over at Sharky.
My pack mates better know I like them. They better realize how much I like them to not punch them. Both of them.
Why are you going to punch the doctor?
What did the
The
doctor
doctor knows
do?
what they did.
The doctor turned me off for a week.
The doctor, there was a reason for that.
Didn't
And it's
mean
because
Sharky
you won't
liked it.
stop. It's because you won't stop putting weird plants in your mouth.
It also wasn't a whole week. It was like 2 days.
Sharky has no concept of time. Have you met him?
Sharky has plenty concept of time.
And it was to save your butt. So I don't want to hear it.
It was. Sharky's very aware of this. Doesn't mean he liked it. Both of they.
Go on.
Yes, please.
Those mother
How'd that-
truckers.
How'd that phone call go for you, Dr. Beck?
Well, I got some business handled. I'm gonna get more samples and get Mr. Jed over here some more of his medicine. Or potions. I do apologize about that, Mr. Jed.
Both words are clearly interchangeable to this man. Like one word, same. There's no distinguishing.
Yeah. I sent one of those under my employ to go assist a good friend, Mr. Davis, in creating a stronger brew of potion for you. And I'm also going to spend my time as well assisting them on seeing what I can do and come up with as well.
All right.
So you'll soon be getting another shipment. And I'm going to work on getting you something a bit stronger as well.
Maury,
The man just nods.
A stubborn man sees.
Maury, I do have a question.
Yes.
Did you ever spend any time in Egypt?
This one has spent time many places. It is a hazard when one is the age this one has attained.
I assume by the form that you took when you sort of came down that the Egyptian vulture over there is yours?
Yes. Tumbas is a friend.
It's been a long time since I have seen anything in person like that, so it was quite refreshing.
A man is from the desert then.
I spent quite a bit of time in Cairo.
In sooth and not just in faith.
Correct. I had a penchant back before all of this happened, and he kind of wiggles his fingers. I was working in artifact collection.
Ah. Difficult to dig in the darkness, no?
Oh, correct. That's why now I own a nightclub.
A big loud building full of music and the living?
Correct.
Oh,
It's not everyone's cup of tea.
a man must have composure.
It helps that I own the place, so I know all the little corners where to sneak off to when I need a minute.
A witch doctor. Perhaps a word.
Yes, Maury. How might I be of assistance?
And she's just gonna kind of mirror
And he's going
and,
to
and leave
on over.
the other three men together.
3 men and a bear.
Yes, the 3 men and a bear.
Sounds
Well,
like the start of a joke.
It's an otter, 2 otters and a bear. Really,
2 otters and 2 bears.
2 otters and 2 bears. And Ashton knows how to talk to all of them that aren't actually the bear.
That aren't literal bears.
Except for Cletus. Cletus is actually a bear.
Yeah, except for Cletus. Ashton knows how to talk to the other ones except the actual bear.
Will. Oh, carry on. Sorry.
The witch doctor should bring extra doses, please.
Are you feeling the effects as well, ma'am?
There are rules for doctors. Yes,
Yes, indeed.
a doctor cannot speak of these to the stubborn man.
I will not speak. I will not break your confidence and speak to the stubborn man about this.
This one can hear.
You can hear the howling as well.
Yes, howling, screeching.
All right. I will do what I can and get you some as well. Would you like it to be discreetly delivered to you or just double the dosage?
Perhaps just extra.
Okay. I will send double the dosage and you can sneak what you can without him seeing.
This one is younger than the bear. It may not take so much.
Okay. I will get. I'll have to label them differently so that y'all know which is what. But I'll find out and work away to make sure you get your medicine as well.
This one is appreciative.
Think nothing of it.
And then she's gonna just wander back toward everyone else.
Dr. Beck's gonna waddle back.
Mr. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
Mr. Jed.
It's just Jed, Papa, if you feel like you need an honorific.
Papa Jed.
That's good, lad.
I have a few questions.
Well, get it off your chest.
Why do you feel like you need to fight it? Stay.
Jed's going to look around and he's going to kind of like over here. We're not talking in front of everybody.
Secrets.
This is family secrets. It's only for cousins. Now you got to promise to keep your mouth. You got to promise to keep your mouth shut, boy.
I can promise not to say anything. Now, if you ask me to lie about it and say you say something else, that's going to be harder to do. But I will say I can't talk about this. That's the best I can do.
Just not talk about it.
That I can do.
You see that woman over there? And he gestures over to Maury. Well, I ain't quite done bothering her yet.
I see. Well, Papa Jed, all right.
See, you live long enough, son. You start getting accustomed to people. And I got accustomed to that one.
I can understand that. Well, then if we don't, I have the absolute faith in Dr. Beck. I have slightly less faith in the pharmacy tech, but they're new.
only some of these words look like they're registering with the man.
I have slightly less faith in the witch doctor, but they're new, so I haven't gotten a chance to test their competency. Hmm? Ah? However, have you considered perhaps, since you don't want to leave, and you don't want to leave Mori, have you considered perhaps, briefly, going down for a little bit of a nap?
There is a ripple of something across Jed's face. And you can tell that it is a method that he has considered, and it is not a method that he is ready for just yet. I wouldn't say extreme displeasure, but you can tell that it's not an idea that he is entirely sold on.
We're going to try. I'm going to make certain that we try everything we can before that becomes a necessity. But if you want to stay around, popping in and out might be an unfortunately better alternative than, not being here at all, right?
There's just getting less and less of us that can wake the others up. I got over 700 winners on me, kid.
That's a lot. That's a lot of winners. God, so many elders in this city. Oh my God. You're older than Naomi. Oh my God, I thought she was old. Sorry.
I like the woods. I like my haven. I like my Maury. I ain't keen on letting any of them go just yet.
No, I agree. I only mention it out of concern. I wouldn't have mentioned it otherwise.
And he gives a sagely nod, and the corners of his eyes crinkle a little bit. Yeah. Well, between you and me, that's. Thank you for helping. So, I do appreciate it. But if you're going to find another way, I suggest you find it fast. Because I don't know how much time I got left.
Yeah. I'll send Naomi over here every now and then to distract you. If she'll listen to me.
I'm surprised she didn't come with you.
Me as well. I'm a little glad. I feel like I would be being dangled from the top of the roof by now.
No. Good sturdy tree, though.
And that's why I said a good thing they're not here. I don't like being dangled from trees.
See, it's not the dangling, really, that's the problem. It's when Maury hucks you off.
She does that?
Only to close cousins.
How close is considered a close cousin?
Well, I suppose anyone that's descendant from her line.
And her line is?
Oh, well, she's one of Xavier's.
Uh-huh. Okay. So I'm gonna go be a fish.
Just the palpable distress. As Sharky learns that he has been conversing with a literal child of Xavier. And Einar dies. So, how is Sharky feeling?
On a scale of 1 to 10,
With 1 being and 10 being
12.
I like it. Are you guys rejoining the rest of the gang?
Do you have other questions for Papa Jed?
As they're walking back, he goes, I can't fly. I can't fly. I'm dolphin. I turn into a dolphin.
Are you saying it that loudly when you get back to the group?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So, a man is a good swimmer?
Yeah.
You
I'm not-
know, Shocky, I did offer to help you be able to fly. Do you not remember this conversation?
I'm choosing to ignore it because it sounds like a threat.
I'm not threatening you. I would never do that. That goes against my code of conduct.
Is it awkward to breathe through the skull hole?
It actually feels really good. It's a nice change.
But a man has interest in flight.
Miss
Maybe-
Naomi offered to teach him, and I offered to assist.
But fish do not have wings.
Some do.
Those are the real scary ones you have to watch out for.
Maybe one day I'll be able to turn into a bird. As of right now, I am a dolphin. I have used that power on many occasions to drag people to the bottom of the ocean and drown them. So
The next time a man feels the need to do so, this one is quite fond of liver.
You know, the organ that filters the blood, all the toxicities out. Not the kidneys. Those help you pee. The liver,
And they taste funny.
I would imagine.
it's been a long time since I took an anatomy class. And I lived in Honeybee, Kentucky.
It's the big rounded rectangular shaped one. That's really dark.
In humans, they are is like a flounder in the body.
Flounder. Yeah.
Flat.
The flappy bit.
Yes.
Under the like right below the rib cage.
Yes.
That you aim for when you punch them, and then they like basically sort of just keel over in pain.
I guess you could say they end up floundering in the end.
By the time this one is able to get at the liver, the mortal is dead.
I mean, that's
Vulture.
a good way.
They're buzzard.
Oh. Huh. There?
This is not something for sympathy. It is simply how this one eats.
Yeah. The giant vulture lady is basically asking you to bring her livers the next time you kill somebody.
Oh God.
I'll
At
be
this
I'll
point,
I'll be
uh,
your delivery boy.
Ashton has kind of walked off, going to explore a little bit because he's like, not what I thought we were going to talk about tonight.
Well, everybody has learned a lot about these cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gentlemen, ma'am, I've gotten quite a bit hungry this evening, and I know I do need to rectify that somewhat soon.
Ah. Fool of a man.
Are
And
you referring to me? ma'am?
Jed waddles over.
Okay.
Not the shine, the weaker stuff.
And he nods, wanders over to one of the underslung storage bays of the bus and pulls out what looks to be an old-timey flip cork bottle. Passes it off.
It's gonna smell it.
It smells like wine and blood.
He'll go ahead and
Vaguely alcoholic.
drown it. And
Oh.
just down the whole thing.
You can go ahead and remove one hunger.
Awesome. I'm back down to 2.
Though you do not feel any intoxicating effects.
That's fine. He was hungry.
Yeah, no. Smells like sweet wine, goes down smooth. Tastes of vitae.
The vulture is just kind of following Ashton from like tree to tree.
Yeah, he kind of keeps eye of the bird. He's just kind of walking around looking.
It's not a stalker or anything. It's a stalker.
Yeah, he figures. So, yeah, I mean, he's just walking around. He's looking at the camp, maybe looking at some of the cabins from a distance because he's not going too far, because he doesn't have night vision. So,
You want to do me a wits and awareness?
and by awareness, you mean just wits.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm
It's
once
just
again
kind of
asking you
looking
my
to
dots of
see
awareness.
what you notice.
Give me one moment here.
So while he's looking around, Jed's got an empty bottle back in his freaking mitt of a hand.
Yeah.
The bear has flopped over on its back and is snoring.
Thank you, Mr. Jed. I do appreciate that. As you as well, Miss Mar.
Okay, that'll be fine. Vanguard, a couple of these cabins appear to have been used fairly recently. One
Okay.
of them has like corgi fur kind of around it. And several brightly colored tennis balls.
Okay, he's gonna clock that. He's not gonna say anything. He's just gonna be like, someone was here with their dog.
Another one looks and smells like cats just about surround the place.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sounds like the interior of the cabin is still home to a feral cat colony.
We love that.
It's gang
He's
cult. What are
definitely
you gonna do?
avoiding. He's avoiding the cats like the plague. Because he knows mama cats. If there's a mama cat there, will be incredibly protective.
There is no sign of the corgi to dog nap, just the fur.
Mhm.
Sorry, Sharky.
Okay.
But it,
Yeah, I see that face. But get a little bit of Animal Ken, and you can have your very own corgi.
I want to take somebody else's.
We will leave the corgi out of this for reasons.
you build that animalism up, and maybe you can have a corgi. Maybe we'll let you steal someone's corgi.
You can steal a corgi from a wealthy old white woman. How's that? So, is there anything else you needed out of these two creepy ass elders, or are y'all getting ready to pop back in the car and go back home?
Yeah, I think Ashton is like, well, we've done all we can do. We just have to go home and research and figure out what to do to stop it.
Makes sense. Also seems like a bit of a tall order.
It may be a tall order, but anything can be done if you throw enough money at the situation.
Uh,
That does seem to be the case, and spoken like a true Ventru.
Mr. Knox, could
Yes.
I talk to you to the side here just for a moment?
Izzy. I'm
Can
sorry,
this-
my dog is making a fuss.
It's okay.
Can this conversation not be had in front of Mr. Vanguard, or does it need to be just the two of us?
Mr. Vanguard can join if you would like. I just have a favor to request of you.
Well, if it's a favor, then it can be done personally. No need to involve someone who does not need to be. I simply thought it was about, coterie matters. Pack
No,
matters.
no. So they'll step off to the side a bit. Would you be willing, since you have similar blood to Mr. Jed, to offer him up just a small bit? See if that helps staves off the effects.
Are you asking me to bond an elder?
I'm asking you to feed him once. It does not have to be directly from the source. It might alleviate some of the effects. I'm just trying to think from all routes here.
I'm trying to think as well.
There's a bottle that's empty, currently in his hand, that we can put some of that liquid in from your van, and he can drink it from there.
No, I do not see any issue with this. Not directly, not at the moment. I will say, however, to feed someone of his age and blood potency, it's going to require a lot of my blood. A lot, not just a little bit. And I don't foresee him being able to slake much unless it is from the vein.
But you're willing to give it a try?
Gah. Who's ever been murdered by a blood-bonded elder before? Who's ever been murdered
Couldn't be me.
by an obsessive kindred elder that sees you as their property, that you accidentally did that with by unintentionally blood bonding them?
That's
I
not
can
how that works. You got that backwards. But anyways, I'm asking for a bit of blood to feed our elder gentleman. See if it helps stave off the effects. I have clean, sterile scalpels.
Yes, because I'm sure that's the issue.
It's Sharky.
As I mentioned before, we don't get sick. That's not a thing we have to worry about.
Would you rather me not have a clean one?
As I
Anyways,
said,
come on. I'll go get from my bag. I'll go get a scalpel so we can cut your arm and pour it into a bottle. Because you said you were all right with this, correct?
we'll have to practically insanguinate me in order to get him any level of sustenance.
Dr. Beck,
Yes.
to break this stalemate, do you have any dots in occult?
I do.
Can I have a wits in occult, please?
Yes.
Because this is the most painful who's on first.
For funsies, can I have a wits and awareness, please?
From?
You! Give me that! Roll that beautiful bean footage. Gimme.
Oh no! Oh no! Well, I got a lot of successes.
You sure did.
Yeah, you did.
Dr. Beck, did you want a willpower on that at all?
Let me double check real quick.
Like, it's
Yeah, I
a
can do
sliding
that.
scale, so it's just getting more successes if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I can re-roll that. I was just checking to see how much willpower I've used. Okay, that's one more.
Okay. It would occur to you that there is some validity to what Sharky's saying. Somebody that old is probably going to be a lot hungrier than you're prepared to feed off of bleeding somebody into what is effectively a 750 milliliter wine bottle.
Dr. Beck's.
Oh, go right ahead, Beck.
I was going to say Dr. Beck's just not going to acknowledge that right now. I want to see if it'll work. That's what he's like. It's like, it probably would take a lot to feed them, but if this helps even a little bit, I'm not trying to make him full. I'm not trying to not make him hungry. I'm trying to counter the effects of the beckoning and see if maybe this will help do anything.
Meanwhile, Sharky, the beast has now locked your eyes on its subject with a hungry gaze. Oh, storyteller G'day, what would be the subject of Sharky's awareness?
The bird.
Oh no.
Tumbas.
This is bad.
So, you are very much noticing the fact that that little fucker just flew over here to spy. Like, that is not a question in your mind.
And the beast wants you to eat him for it.
So, your hunger is better than it was when you woke up.
That ain't saying a lot.
It is not. Is there an immediate sort of sharky thought that occurs?
This is not my haven. This is not my domain. If I eat the bird, I'm going to die.
Just for giggles and ha-has, can we have a composure and resolve?
That's not
is-
a good fool for Elmo.
This is not remaining willpower. This is simply composure and resolve.
That is not a good pull for Elmo.
It's not a good pool for Elmo.
Oh, buddy.
1 success.
Okay, that is enough to not immediately frenzy on the bird, but not quite enough to not kind of lunge. Though Sharky is absolutely free to tell himself that it was just to scare the bird away.
That bird was too close for comfort. Very much listening in.
And
Anyway.
there is a thump immediately behind Sharky as Maury rises up and her feathers sort of melt back into her flesh.
I do apologize, ma'am. I do not know what overcame my colleague here.
This one can feed him. Not just potion. This one can feed him.
Maybe. It's a working theory that I'm having since they're of the same blood. It would make sense it might be able to temporarily help stall it.
But Jed is so old it may kill the boy.
Which is why I suggested not feeding from the source and being in control of how much is donated.
But this one, and she is gesturing very heavily at herself. This one can feed him?
Potentially. Would you like me to...
Make it quiet.
Sure.
Potentially. God, I hope.
This is a test?
Yes. To see if it works.
The witch doctor and the pack would like to be here for the test.
It might help with future potential others that might also come under this same condition to have this knowledge.
Well, what's that,
I
Turkey?
don't.
I would prefer not to be here. Papa Jed is big and scary. We'll accept a report.
This is acceptable. Before next dose of potion. This one will make the attempt.
I do appreciate that. And if you would prefer just me not being here and sending me a report or letter stating what happened, or you would like me to come back?
Tumbas can deliver.
All right.
Sharky, tell me what's going on in your head, pal. Give us a glimpse inside the mind of the man.
Dr. Beck was trying to kill me!
That's not what was happening.
Sharky is concerned, panicked. A little bit of he legitimately does want to help other members of his clan, despite the fact that he does not believe in clans in their traditional sense. That barriers built up around Kindred for no other reason than to keep the Camarilla in power. But despite this philosophy that he has, they seem like good people. They seem like good Kindred.
Which is weird, right?
I mean, they've killed people too. We all
There
have.
it is. There it is.
Apparently, frequently, since the vulture woman admitted to being an organivore.
I mean, you can get livers ethically. I don't think she does, but you can. You can get ethically sourced liver from organ donors.
Probably not in the middle of the woods.
No. But still worth it.
But also, Sharky is the only one of the three of you who knows Jed's age. Dr. Beck got a hint on the phone with Davis. Sharky knows.
So, because of the fact that Papa Jed is so old, and because of the fact that my blood is so thin compared to his, because I am, for all intents and purposes, Dr. Beck, a neonate, despite my skill and the vast amount of wealth that I have, and the resources and the contacts that I've built up from being effectively an economic terrorist throughout my entirety of my adult Kindred life. Still not exactly the most impressive blood, shall we say yet. So I'm not feeding him. Maury, I think you feeding him is great. In fact, you know what? I think y'all should go have some canite fun times with the whole swapping thing, Uh
I don't think that's how their relationship works there, Sharky.
This one will make the attempt. If there is change, this one will send word, either with one of the rodents or with the bird.
I do appreciate that, ma'am.
if it's are we out are we in tech are we like outside of the Philly domain? Are we? I don't know.
You're about an hour and a half outside of the Philadelphia domain. Like, you are well outside of the Philadelphia domain.
So here's another thing you might want to try. Don't let him know that you're doing this, but if he gets really hungry one night, pick somebody up off the street, give him a little bit of a, and then just give him some back, and then just hand him to him. Hand him to him. Just try it.
This one will try feeding from herself first. This one thinks.
Do that first. But if that don't work, try that one. Try the other one. You guys aren't in anyone's domain. Y'all don't have to worry about asking for permission. That's fine.
No.
You have some
What?
loose morals about that there, Mr. Sharky.
They're mortals.
Oh, not if gifted.
I mean, he's. How old is he? What generation is he? What generation is Papa Jed?
Oh, Papa Jet is 8th gen.
Papa Jet is an elder's elder, okay? If he really wanted to, man could have a city on his own. Okay? There ain't nothing stopping you two from doing whatever you want.
Oh, there we go.
And this is a matter of survival.
Yes, is a man is aware that some of what we are Jed, the fool man, Jed has faith. Has
Huh?
been has been a knight for as many years as this one has been his, however reluctant, partner.
Okay. So that's not doable anymore.
Eh,
Okay.
A knight of Avalon.
Well, there goes the easy road. I guess we have to find a hard way.
Eh,
Ugh.
this one will attempt the experiment.
If it would mess with his religion, I wouldn't bring it up.
There is some such fiddle faddle about protecting the young. We have had fledglings here.
Fledglings, I trust me, I understand. I understand. I really do. I merely suggested the potential because through if we're going as drinking our blood, then you know, that's more blood. More strong, thick, important blood. But
This it, it will take some thought, but this one appreciates the thinking. Uh, it is fine. Um, it and she's gonna look up at the moon. It would not do to be kept too much longer. A man, a party may not make it back to the city in time.
Yes, ma'am. We'll be gone. We appreciate your assistance. And I'll see what I can do about getting those things procured.
It is a pleasure to meet you, um, Knox. Uh,
it was a pleasure to meet you as well.
it, it, this one should not call a man the witch doctor. What is the name?
You can call me Dr. Beck or Dr. Arabica or just Doctor.
And the serpent?
Mr. Ashton or Vanguard.
Ah, a pleasure.
It was a pleasure to make your acquaintance as well, Miss
Eh,
Mard.
she's gonna, you know, make her way back to the bus, make her way back to that fool man, leaving you all to get into your SUV and call it an evening before, of course, it gets too late and you guys aren't able to make it back to the city in time.
Yes.
And with that, Unless there is anything else that you need right now that cannot be handled in your channels.
Any information swapping, questions, comments, concerns that you have for each other? It's assumed the thin blood can be trusted, since he is on the payroll, for brevity's sake.
Fair enough.
He is on the payroll. And he got a raise.
A whole 5
5
cents.
cents.
Hey, 5 cents is 5 cents.
Right?
In this
That-
economy,
Right?
That 5 cents is going to get, it's going to add up.
It's going to go far, kid.
Yeah. So with that, we will bring this session, this stream of Philly by Night, the Emissaries coterie, to a close. As always, we're going to go round robin and let everyone know who the hell we are, who we were playing, and where you can find us. Let's start with Sharky. What's good?
Hi. Sharky. I'm Chandler. I play Sharky. You can find me online as Kingdom0905 on TikTok and pretty much anywhere else you're supposed to find me, or that Warlock0905 on Twitch. Yeah.
Yay! Mr. Vanguard.
Hello. I'm John. You can find me on TikTok at that nerd guy, and I am also one of the bears that Ashton knows how to talk to, but apparently thought it was a good time to hibernate.
Doc, what you got?
I'm Doss. I play Dr. Beck, and you can find me anywhere you need to find me at Doss Bruner 13 or Doss Bruner. Yeah.
Papa Jed.
Hi, everybody. I am Einar, Einar_TTRPG, anywhere I want you to find me. Tonight, I was playing the lovable mountain man, Papa Jed, and his long-suffering bear, Cletus.
Cletus, the long-suffering bear.
Cletus, the long-suffering bear. Well, he can't get into the trash anymore.
No, he's got to be svelte and fighting fit, apparently. Poor Cletus.
Poor Cletus.
Pour
But
one
what
out
about
in the
you?
air. Hi, I am the storyteller for the Emissaries coterie. I do a lot of the logistics behind the scenes at Philly by Night on our Discord server and elsewhere. Tonight I was playing Mori, which is Latin for death. Fun, right? As in the phrase memento mori.
I caught that. Yeah.
And I am Good Day FX, anywhere you care to find me, whether that's Discord or TikTok. I don't so much use any of the meta sites anymore. I think I might still have an account on Instagram that hasn't been used in over a year, but TikTok is good though. And next month I will be doing 31 cosplays in 31 days, so that'll be fun. Anyway, have a good evening. And do remember, just because we play monsters on TV doesn't mean we can't be the light in somebody else's world.